Welcome to the weekly wrap where we explore vital political matters in Australia from a Christian perspective. I'm Michelle Pearse, the CEO of the Australian Christian Lobby. Firstly, I want to thank you for supporting our recent campaign to stop the creep of sinister euthanasia laws in our country. Well over 6,000 emails were sent to the Federal Attorney General asking him to refuse the push to allow the promotion of assisted suicide by telehealth. Sadly, every Australian state has legalised euthanasia, with most allowing medical practitioners or nurses to suggest assisted suicide to their patient. The ACT is now suggesting allowing children to be euthanised. We can see from other countries that this is a slippery slope. To die of euthanasia in Canada, you just need to have something like hearing loss. You don't even need to be in pain. You don't even need to have a terminal illness. Family can be kept in the dark around a hasty decision on life made in a moment of fragility. We must not turn a blind eye to the cultural slide that makes it acceptable to dishonour the sanctity of human life in this way. At ACL, with your prayers and action, we will continue to advocate for the protection of life in our nation, from conception to natural death. Another freedom we strongly advocate for at ACL is religious freedom and your right to educate your child according to your beliefs. The Australian Law Reform Commission report, which will impact the future of religious educational institutions, is due before the end of this year. Because we know how critical this will be for the religious freedom for future generations, we've been busy. Across the nation, we've provided resources to supporters who have held dozens of meetings with their federal MPs, calling on them to support the right of faith-based schools to hire staff who adhere to their faith and to keep teaching their doctrines and beliefs. I also want to thank you for sharing our deep concern over the abortion legislation recently passed in Western Australia, and for your messages of support for the advocacy work undertaken by many who push back against it. We've received many requests for the voting breakdown, and we will provide more information of these details in time. But for now, we ask for your prayers for those who stood for life, and do ask that you prayerfully remember the gravity of the votes cast when it comes to cast yours at the ballot box. Despite this setback, the work to protect life must go on. Legislation made to protect the lives of babies born alive but left to die now rests with the Senate. You can make your voice heard by contacting your senators and asking them to give the Born Alive Protection Bill a fair hearing. Lastly, in Queensland, the Palaszczuk government has said that it's committed to moving to full decriminalisation of the sex industry. This will mean all advertising restrictions specific to the sex industry will be removed. Accommodation providers won't be allowed to refuse access to their premises by the sellers of sex services. Local councils won't be able to restrict brothels when considering local planning laws. And home-based brothels will be given the same treatment as any other home business. If you're living in Queensland and concerned that you could end up with a brothel next door, please sign our petition to oppose full decriminalisation. Your voice matters. In the Bible, the prophet Amos declared, "Let justice roll on like a river, righteousness like a never-failing stream." Despite the works of darkness we see enveloping our society, this powerful image gives us great hope. God's justice, righteousness, light and love will roll down from heaven by His Spirit and flow through us, empowering us to change cultural atmospheres in our communities through our prayers and our boldness to stand for His truth, which sets the captives free. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.